There's a car story. Honda is giving a guy in Georgia some trouble because his daughter's car is melting.
You said melting.
Melting, yeah.
Like ice creams.
Yeah. Let me tell his story, and then I'll give you what happened to me yesterday. You tell me if I should be mad or not. But there's a guy in Georgia who his daughter's in college, freshman in college, and just as my son is, and she's home for the holidays. And she went out to her car a couple of weeks ago and had not had this issue before. She drives a 2022 Honda Civic, and she called her father and said, I need you to look at this. It looks like something's wrong with my car. And he went out there, and there were spots of where it looked like it had melted and warped around both the driver and passenger side windows and the front bumper. And I could see it. There's like large spots as if you'd held like a hot iron on it or something, on the plastic there. And he explained it and thought he'd never seen anything like this before, of course.
I'd never seen anything like it. It's as if someone shot a ray gun at our car.
It's really what it looked like. It really is.
Is this vandalism?
Well, that's what he thought at first, but then he saw it on different spots, so he wasn't sure, so he looked online, and the answer is no. It's because of, he called Honda, and they gave this explanation.
They explained it to us basically saying that this was caused by the sun, and that the sun had reflected off our house window, and that it acted kind of like a magnifying glass.
So you know that
effect, the light come through there.
But I saw it. This looks like a regular house, 2-story house, and the car's in the front driveway, and of course there are 5 or 6 windows on the front of the house, and it wasn't hot. It's cold. It's in Georgia, and the temperature's in the 40s and 50s. And he's like, I don't understand this. How can that be? It's not like light going through a prism. And they said it was the light reflecting off the windows. And it's rare, but it does happen.
So like a laser point where it hits part of the door?
No, because it was not. It was on both of the driver and passenger side mirrors, the plastic around the mirrors, and then on the front bumper as well. It was very odd, and because it's not like it. Yeah, because you know that sometimes the prism will come through and set a piece of paper on fire or something.
I don't know how they figured that out.
I don't either.
From Honda from Japan.
The
sun's low in the sky right now. This happened recently?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's as low as the sun gets in the sky. Now, if that happened in in July, I'd believe you.
Me too.
Right. It's not heat though. It's like the light.
It's
right?
it's like the way the light is hitting the car. He said it's not even hot. I agree. I would have thought I thought this happened in July, but that's not the case.
At the same time, I don't think Honda's to blame.
Well, he does. He thinks Honda's to blame, and he's ready to take him to court over it because he says, hey, you got to have something in here about this.
Honda, the son, who's he going to depose?
Let me tell you what he says about Honda.
It's a brand new Honda Civic. I would have expected more from Honda.
Just let you know.
Yeah, that's one of the more dependable brands.
I want you to fix this, Honda. That's what he says.
Never heard of this.
I neither. But he says if you look online, they say it's
other
rare.
People say it's happened to them.
It's rare, but it happens. Dean, you're talking about the melting of this Honda Civic. Go ahead.
Yes. Good morning, guys. Dean, P1 out of Charlotte.
Yes, sir.
So I was hired by a builder in Charlotte. I was introduced to this in the early 2000s to where the vinyl siding was being melted on a house in between the houses, and it was the reflection off the windows.
Unbelievable.
And then later, unbelievable. And later on, I was the warranty manager for a big builder in Charlotte, and we had a fire started in someone's rose garden from the reflection off of their windows, and a BMW suffered the same fate in somebody's driveway to where the plastic on the front of their car was melted off the reflection off the windows.
It's stunning.
The case is closed.
I mean, and
he's convinced me.
Well, it is. I know it's true, but this guy's like screaming at Honda, saying, "Hey, do something
all
about
the way to Osaka."
Yeah. All right, it's true. I still don't think Honda's to blame.
Thank you, Dean. I don't see how can you blame Honda. Thank you, Dean.
I don't either. And like the siding on that house that caller talked about, they're going to say, look, the siding's made to withstand weather. It's not made to withstand, weird
refracted
angles of the
light.
sun.
Yeah. But who would ever think the way you
now it's probably
car.
a cheap type of siding. You could buy a better type, a more expensive type.
I mean, the sun's been over us for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't had glass forever.
And a Honda's not. You wouldn't say, well, that's a cheap car with cheap. I'm sure it's the same plastic used on every Honda.
Bought them. They're not cheap.
No, they're not cheap. He says that the stuff is warped and melting away.
It started warping and becoming deformed, and the paint started bubbling up.
And now he's not sure. He's got to get it fixed on his dime. He thinks Honda should cover it under their warranty, like the paint or whatever, because it's a 2022. He just got it a year ago.
Pretty obscure.
Would you notice, Kelly, if your antique car had been hit by sun's lasers?
No, it may have been hit, but I don't. It's possible that the sun's lasers have hit my car. I may have some warping windows. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
That car so old doesn't have a lot of plastic on it.
My car?
Yeah.
No, you're right.
It's a lot of metal.
They don't build them like that anymore.
All chrome.
Yeah, I like that. Speaking of fires, yesterday we talked about, at this time, the fire at Tyreek Hill's house. Remember, we had, who was the rapper that was
The great Rick Ross.
Rick Ross.
B.B. Shea tried to explain what Rick Ross was to us by throwing words at us.
Man, I didn't. I just couldn't follow.
I still don't understand
I couldn't follow what he was saying about Rick Ross. But yesterday, Rick Ross apparently lives close to Tyreek Hill's house and watched it as it was going up in flames and reported on it. Now, in fact, we have the report from yesterday. Remember, he had a theory on what caused the fire.
Just my opinion. Must be an electrical fire because the smoke is getting thicker and thicker as the fire trucks stand here. More and more helicopters. Little bro gonna have to build a new crib. It's all good though. It's all good. Spent 10 on this one, you heard me? Rebuild another one, you feel me? Live it up.
All right, dropped $10 million on that house.
You heard?
Yep. Nobody was hurt, thank goodness. He was wrong about his prediction, what caused the fire. Turns out it was caused by a child playing with a cigarette lighter in a bedroom.
Wow.
And they say it caught maybe the curtains on fire. Yeah, and I think I'd seen the child was young, like under 5. And so they are saying that the fire damage mostly was contained to a single room, that bedroom where it started. But the smoke and water damage was so significant it spread to other parts of the house. Of course, they had to put a lot of water on. We did not hear, this is more from Rick Ross yesterday, and B.B. Shea told us he's a part owner of Wingstop.
Correct, yeah.
Well, he was able to get a little bit of Wingstop, a few plugs in for Wingstop.
I had some Wingstop wings on the way being delivered, but as y'all can see, they said it was a minor fire over at Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill crib. That's right across the street from one of my cribs. As long as everybody's safe, that's more important than my lemon pepper wings, my ranch dressing, and my roasted corn, trust me.
All right. What was that last one?
Roasted corn.
Roasted
Yeah. Yeah.
Lemon pepper man.
It's more important. House fire. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's close to one of my cribs.
One of
Right.
them.
One of them.
Who's worth more, Rick Ross or Tyreek?
I bet it's Rick Ross.
Rick Ross.
Don't you
yeah.
think?
Substantially, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Didn't Tyreek get paid?
Tyreek got paid, but Rick
Salary,
Ross
got salary cap down
Rick
there.
Ross got money.
No
man.
salary cap
Yeah.
on the rap
True, in the
star.
hip hop
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
He's a lemon pepper man.
Yeah.
Can you? Do you
I like a lemon pepper. Yeah, lemon pepper wet too with the sauce on it. Yeah.
You like Wingstop?
I love Wingstop.
You know what they did to the diesel?
No.
They shut him out.
What did they do?
Wait till after the show. It's too ugly for radio.
Listen, this is
It was the
really-
ugliest shutout of 23.
Last year,
Everybody's a potential advertiser.
last year during the playoffs, the NFL playoffs, my boy, the Diesel, my pickleball partner, was watching football and a Wingstop commercial came on, and he had never even tried Wingstop, and they had like sandwiches flavored like the wings, and he was sitting on his couch, and it was halftime. He said,
You know what?
"I'm gonna go get those."
worked.
Advertising worked.
He got into his car. He drove to the Wingstop. He goes in. He says, "I would like what was just advertised on television." And she
Did he order for himself or the family? Do you recall?
Himself. He was the only one. He walked in. He had it was $15. It was that and a drink and fries. And the woman said, "You have to order through the app. You have to order online."
There's two humans within 7 feet of one another.
He's in the restaurant.
This is my order. I don't hear it.
But there was a cash register
But
right
I'm
there.
speaking-
Right in front of
I'm speaking my order now. No, you're not.
Because he don't do the window, does he?
No, and I don't even know if Wingstop has a window.
Oh, I don't know.
But what he doesn't do is apps. He is not an app person, okay? So he said, no, I'm telling you, I want this sandwich and I want this. And she said, you'll have to download our free mobile app and order online. She said, he said, I'm standing here saying to you my order. There's a cash register. I have a $20 bill. She said, I'm not allowed to take. I have to take online orders only. And he said, no one will take a to-go order. She said, no. The manager, she said, let me get my manager. Manager said, I'm sorry, you'll have to order online. Right now, we're taking online orders.
Wow.
She goes,
you don't see me
that's right.
hand gesture.
So she said, you can go right there in the parking lot and download our mobile app.
Yeah, go sit in your car.
He said, I will not. And he said, you're turning down my $20. She goes, I am not taking your money. And he turned and walked out. Boy,
Did he hit Zaxby's up?
He was hot. Yeah, McDonald's. He wound up at McDonald's.
Okay.
And they had an online app special. It's like he went through the window. He went through the window and they said, have you ordered via our app? He goes, no, I have not. He will not. He does not do that. Now, you tell me if I should be mad. I was at first, but this has happened yesterday. I wasn't even going to share this. It's really a private thing, but my son wants a new car. Okay. He's got in his head, he really wants a Toyota 4Runner, which a
lot of young people love those cars.
He has his grandmother's car, which is a Toyota Highlander. He got that car. Okay. And so he's been driving it since he was 16. Now it's 2 years, and it's a fine car. It checks out every time. I take it to a mechanic who says this car's going to run forever. So I love it. I'm like, perfect. Don't have to buy the car.
I don't want your life, Dad.
Okay. So for a year, he's been saying 4Runner, 4Runner, 4Runner. So finally, now I've said, all right, if you can find a 4Runner at a good, I told him this a month ago. So
was this unilateral, Kelly, on your part, or was this in front of your mother figure wife?
My mother figure wife agreed to this.
Okay.
I told him, okay, you can take a look now. Let's just see
what's out there.
So a couple of times, this is how in demand they are. I told him it's got to be a used 4Runner. Okay, so he's come up with a few online, and early. So he's been home for Christmas break almost a month. He's going back tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's going back to school tomorrow. He's been home for about a month. Early on, he found a couple. I call about them, and they say that's already sold. As soon as it goes online, it sells. So it's that quick.
Are these from individual sellers, or are these from dealers?
Used car dealers. Okay. And it's just where he sees them on a website, and then they're at used car dealers locally. Okay.
Right.
And I told him, my wife says it needs to be local, because we want to take it to the mechanic we trust to give it a once over, and then we're willing to possibly buy the car. So yesterday, or a couple of days ago, he says he found one, dealership's 20 miles away, 30 miles away, okay? And he says it looks good. Now it's 2010. It's $14,000, okay? That's, to me, pricey for 2010. But he's just desperate to see it. It gets all these good reviews online and everything. I said, okay. So I called them on Wednesday and said, can I come by and test drive this car tomorrow, meaning Thursday? And she said, the lady couldn't have been nicer. And she said, yes, of course you can, but I would advise you to call us right before you come, because these sell quickly. And I said, okay.
My goodness.
All right. Okay. So yesterday, canceled my workout. I said, we'll go. Okay. I said, well, okay.
Get a number of podcasts to knock out.
I knocked out a couple of podcasts, and I did a fantasy football podcast that 6 people will listen to. Okay. And I was leaving here at noon. Okay. Yesterday, I was leaving at noon, and I called. My goal was to be there at 2:00. So I call the same lady, picks up the phone, and I said, I called you yesterday. I want to come and test drive the car, and I'd like to take it to a mechanic that I trust. And she said, let me see if we can do that. So she gets off the phone. She goes, I can hear she's talking to somebody. She comes back. She goes, it's okay for you to take it to the mechanic as long as he's within 20 miles. And I said, I looked, and he was like 18 miles away. I said, okay, so we'll test drive it to the mechanic's place. We'll have him look it over. I called the mechanic. He said, I'm available at 2:30 to 3:00.
Things are set up.
Okay, done.
Perfect.
So I get home. Now I take a shower and everything. It's like, no, I didn't take a shower because I hadn't worked out. I come home. My son's there. It's like close to 1:00 now.
Daughter's waking up.
Daughter's just getting out of bed.
Making bacon eggs.
I say, okay, Let's go. It was one. I said, I had called her. I said, I'll be there around 2:00. She said, great. It's here. It's ready. So 1:15, we take off. I arrive at the place. About 1:20, we leave. I arrive at the place, 2:00. Walk in. Guy could not have been nicer. Very nice guy. And I said, I'm here. I called a couple of times. I'd like to test drive a 2010 Toyota 4Runner. I want to take it to a mechanic I trust. Guy said, I heard you on the phone. Another guy around the corner says, it's being fixed. There's a tracking issue on the something. I don't even hear.
Someone who works at the dealer.
And the woman who I had talked to goes, I was just trying to call you. I said, oh, okay. And the guy goes, well, he can look at it, but he can't drive it. And I said, well, I don't want to look at it. I want to test drive it and take it to the mechanic, which you told me I could do. And she said, I was just trying to call you. Well, it's, I told her I was going to be there at 2:00. Yeah. It's 2:02, and the phone hadn't rung. And I said, well, what am I supposed to do? And he said again, well, you can look at it. And I said, I don't want to look at it. And so we walk out, and my son's just crestfallen, of course. Mm-hmm. We get back in the car. One of the really nice guys came out, and he knocked on the window, and I rolled the window down. And he said,
wow, I haven't seen a cranked window in a while. You want to sell this, boss?
Hey, my blood
Demolition
pressure.
Derby's coming up at the fire.
Do you think you were getting hoorah'd?
No, I don't. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. And he said, listen, these cars go online like a day before we're really ready to get them. I don't like that policy. I want to make it better for you. And I said, there's nothing you can do for me today. I'm leaving. I'm not going to go just look at a car, which is not even on the lot right now. And I said, I'm leaving. He goes, if you can come back tomorrow. Now, I can't go today. And my son's going back to college tomorrow morning. I was like, I'm sorry.
No sale.
I said, we're done. We're done. I'm sorry. And we leave. And I told my son, I was like, there'll be more of these when you come home at spring break or summer or whatever, we can look again. But we're not doing this today. Well, so I was mad. I was really ticked. Because how does that happen?
Yeah,
So,
I know how, but go ahead.
She called me 2 hours later. I got a message on my phone. Again, could not have been nicer. And she said, I just want you to know we had a long meeting about how to stop this from happening in the future. And if there's anything we can do for you, we feel so bad about this. So I'm not as mad, but I physically cannot go buy that car because today, that was the time that I had to go look at it, So I'm not, but I was really mad. And I want you, Dave, we have to take a break, but I'd like you to tell me how that happened because I don't know. I mean, I called her twice, once 2 hours before I was going to test drive the car, and she said, come on. So I'd like you to tell me how that happened.
Okay.
On the other side of the break.
Sure.
Okay. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See how mad I am?
Yeah, I know what happened too.
You know what happened too?
Yeah, Dave will explain it though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I have no clue.
Okay. I don't.